Tuesday, y'all. I'm going to talk about the damage done to parent B and the absent parent. The mental damage is very real and it's very deep. It really affects a dad. It affects the role of a dad. It affects children. Children are the one who gets the most of it. But dads are pretty hard. I mean, we lose time. We've lost memories. We've lost those parts of childhood we'll never get back. The calendar does not go backwards and the clock does not rewind itself. It's very detrimental to dads. It gets so bad that a lot of dads, I got one I'm talking to right now, and man, I call him daily and I probe him daily, and he's on the verge of at the end of his rope. He's destroyed financially, he's destroyed mentally, and he's not getting to see his kid, his little boy, and they spent lots of years together, time, and now it's the possession pawn trophy by the narcissistic high conflict parent. Same old shit. But as I've worked through my own shit and what I've done through therapy within myself and mental health, and what I'm trying to do to a lot of other people in my position is change our glasses to look at things different. We have got to find some healing. We can't just continue to stay hurt and destroyed. We can't continue to be just shit on and stomped on 24/7. We have a right to a life. We have a right to peace. We have a right to healing. I talked to this person a few times. She's writing a book and she does a lot of stuff with mental alienation and damages. A couple of conversations I've had with this person is healing. She's like, Billy, you've got to heal yourself. You got to get your healing back. When you get your kid, if you're so hurt and destroyed and down and upset, your kid's going to feed off of that. You know, I just stay quiet, stay numb and whatever. But I mean, I'm sure my kid can feel it and sense it. It's real. But as she said, Billy, your healing will attract them back. The most difficult work, the work that might eventually bring you closer to your child, is the very work most parents don't want to do because it's painful and it's uncomfortable. It's the inner work, the letting go while still loving, the building of a life for yourself that isn't centered around waiting. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to have time and interaction with my child. Maybe 1 week in a month, if that. Maybe one Wednesday night phone call for 2 or 3 minutes, if that. I can't talk to her any other time because I'm blocked or she's turned against me or whatever. There's always an excuse, planned activity why I can't have my weekends. And then I've got makeup time and it's always, you will get it when it's convenient. Yeah, I've got the receipts on that one. How do you find peace? How do you find healing to where you can move on, to where you can have peace at life, to where you can even have a relationship again? You know, it's hard. I get to a point to where, and this is me, and I get to where things are rolling along, maybe a little bit of positive things. And that's the way it was when I had my kid full time. Maybe it's time to have a serious relationship and have my kids included. And then shit blows apart. And then it's like, well, there goes that. Nobody wants to be around a dad with high chaos. But the damage inside, the inner work, that letting go while still loving the building of a life for yourself. I still have to go on. I still have to live. I still have to go to work. I still have other children. I still have my son. I still have my mom. I still have my friends. I still have people in my life that matter and important that depend on me. Just because I've lost time with my kid and I'm grieving a live child, that parent A is doing everything she can to destroy me and destroy the child and keep her out of my life. Yeah, it's heavy and it's bad, but I have to find peace because it affects our health. It affects our lifespan. Of course, you'll keep reaching out on important days and milestones, especially if your child is still very young. Of course, you're always going to leave the door open, as you always will love your kids. So I call the Wednesday night. If I get her, I get her. If I don't, I don't. I log it. Pattern of behavior. You must switch your mindset and learn to live beyond your grief. You didn't come into this world only to be a parent. You came here with a mission, a beautiful life to build, one that still belongs to you. You still have that right. You still have that right to have peace. You still have that right to have another relationship. You still have that right to have the desires and dreams of your life that you wish for. You must focus on that. Alienation alone cannot define you completely. It can change you, can break your heart 1,000 times over, but it doesn't get to erase who you are, and your life does matter, and rebuilding it is important. At some point one day, when your child matures and realizes that they were brainwashed and alienated from parent A and see the evil for themselves, they will figure out the high toxic narcissistic parent who did this to their child, and eventually it will circle back. I pray that. I believe that. My son, it breaks my heart because he has issues with women. He has trust with women because his mom abandoned him and was shitty to him. My other daughter, Aubrey, it's always been trying to get validation, trying to want mom to accept. Mom chose the person who abused her over her. There's lots of deep scars and wounds there. It's bad. And she's carrying that. She's carrying that into life. So she's turned on the people who actually cared and loved her. One day our children will see and realize what they were put through by hate against us by the other parent. Doctor told me the other day, well, Billy, just step back, and when your child gets older, you're going to get that time because she's going to see through her mom. She's going to see through all of this. Well, the damage is done. How do you fix the damage? How do you rewind and repair the damage? They have this thing called unification thing now, putting a child back with the other parent. So you got a child that's taken from one parent. Now that child's fucked up. You put them back through reunification. Now they're even more mind cross. I mean, good Lord. And all of this shouldn't have never happened. I see that with my older kids. And it sucks that my youngest is going through it again. She's going to see one day that parent A is pretty evil. She's going to see one day family supporting cast of parent A brought this on and supported this. And she's going to look back, and that's sad because her perception of what she thought and who of that family is not going to be what the reality is. I see it today. I know it today, but she doesn't know that today. And the innocence, it's going to be gone. And there's no rewinding the clock back on that. It's just a matter of time. God will hold that parent accountable on Judgment Day for the hurt and damage the person did to one of his children. I just pray there is accountability. And I know from Revelations and what it talks about on Judgment Day and what we're going to have to answer for, all of us, every one of us. And you can hide and lie and manipulate courts, guardian ad litems, lawyers, families, counselors, therapists, friends, teachers, everybody. But the God that I know, my children knows the truth, and those parents can't hide from him. Your day's coming. You might win here in the flesh. It's just a matter of time. None of us are guaranteed anything more than right now. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So there's going to be a judgment day at some point in all of our lives. And you may kick the can down the road, and you may explain and massage your feelings and justifying your victimhood and your bullshit. But there's going to be a day that you're going to be held accountable. Truly believe that. It can't come soon enough for some of us, but it is what it is. I can't control it. You can't control it, but God can control it. Another story from a daddy's story. Hopefully we can make a difference today. Reach out to us on all social media channels. YouTube, Spotify.
I'm only a man in the city.